Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to A1R Radio. My name is Angie. I'm a soul alignment mentor, and I help people to connect with their most authentic and highest self, living and manifesting the lives that they truly were meant to live as their human self on this earth. And since we have Thanksgiving this week in the States, I do understand there's probably people all around the world listening at this time. And so you may not be having a holiday this week, or you might be doing something else. But I wanted to talk a little bit about using your energy and your connection with the spirit realm to navigate through times like when you're spending time with your family a bit more, or even when you're going into the winter months of the year. Here where I'm actually from Kansas, so I'm in the very middle of the US. And I we often have very strange weather here. It could be really, really hot in the summer, and it can be really, really cold in the winter. And then in the middle of that, there's mixed in all kinds of different weather. But right now, what is happening is the time change has happened. And so it's getting dark really early, around like 5 p.m. And every year I struggle a little bit with what we call SAD. And so I want to talk about that. I spent over 18 years working in the mental health field, and because of my experience working in the mental health and my connection with spirit, I'm able to bring both of those together where I can help people really understand how to navigate through hard times in their life, both from a therapeutic and mental health approach and from a spiritual, intuitive, psychic approach. And so when I combine the both together, I can help people understand who they are in their energy a little bit more. And this time of year in particular, when we're not outside as much, when we're not doing as much physically, we can have things happen where we start to feel a little bit more hopeless. We start to feel a little bit more less energetic. We may not leave our house as much. We might go to bed a little bit earlier. We might start eating a little bit more. Of course, the holidays don't help with that because there's so much good food. But I want to talk a little bit about how you can use this time as a positive for yourself instead of allowing that influence of kind of the darker, colder months coming in and kind of stealing your energy. And if you've never heard of SAD, it is seasonal affective disorder. And there's some symptoms that come along with it where you sleep more, you might oversleep or have a hard time getting up. You might go to bed super early. Your energy is really low. You feel sluggish. You might feel a little depressed. You might feel hopeless or worthless. You might feel a little bit more energetically drained in some areas of your life. And so if you're feeling all of this or you're feeling it set in, or if it's something that happens to you every year, which a lot of people have this happen every year, I want to give you some tools on how to navigate through this, especially from a perspective of you connecting with your own spirit. I have worked with a ton of people where I've helped them to get in touch with their own spirit team, with loved ones on the other side. And so I do know that we have loved ones on the other side that are supporting us here on earth. And we also have spirit guides that help us. And when we are in touch with this spirit team that we have, we can call on help from them during times that we're struggling. And so some tools I teach those who I work with is meditation is a great tool to connect with your spirit team, but it also is an amazing tool to help regulate your energy and kind of let go of some of the symptoms that you might be having during this time of year. And I hear all the time from my clients, I can't meditate, I can't get my mind to shut down. And here's what I want to relieve you of. Meditation isn't simply quieting your mind and not thinking. Meditation is a process of getting to know yourself. And so it can be sitting in silence, it could be just journaling, it could be getting a hot drink, a coffee or a cocoa, and sitting on some pillows with a blanket and just being in silence and just spending time with yourself. And when you create a space in your day where you meditate and you get to know your own energy, you can tell a difference when you're not feeling right and when you are feeling as your best self. And so, what I encourage people to do is just start the process. Just start with a couple minutes a day. If you can't get your mind to quiet down, if you can't stop all the racing thoughts of everything that you have to get done, at least try to focus on 2 minutes at the most where you can just sit and be in your own energy and quiet your mind for just a moment. And the more that happens, really honestly, the more addicted you get to the process of quieting your mind because you realize how amazing it really does feel. Another thing that I want to encourage you to do during this time, even though it might be cold, it might be a little bit darker, find times to get outside with sunlight. The more that we're outside in the sun, the more we can bring in the vitamins that we need. And this actually helps amplify our energy as well. And so when we do get into the evening time and we're a little bit more tired after the day, we'll have some of that energy from the earth that we can pull out into our energy to help us to feel better. And I am a huge nature lover. And so I do communicate with nature in some ways. I communicate with trees. And I always love to be around trees. So if you have a trail near your house, if there's a park, if there's trees in your yard, if you don't have any, maybe you have a plant in your house that you can sit by or sit with. And believe it or not, it will impact your energy in some way because they are just a natural um, they clear energy, they naturally help balance things out. Nature has a way of working with energy that humans don't. It's just a process that goes through, and so we can learn a lot from being in nature and with nature. Another thing I want to encourage you to do is just be mindful of what you consume. That is not necessarily what you're eating, but what you're listening to, what you're watching on the TV, maybe what you're saying, because our words and the things that we engage in every day really truly do impact our energy. So if you're watching sad movies or you're listening to music that is not uplifting, that can impact you. One of the things that we humans strangely enjoy doing is when we're feeling bad, is finding things that make us feel worse. And we do this so subconsciously, we don't even know that we are doing these things, but we may almost like wallow in our sadness and we'll want to stay on the couch and watch movies and eat more food. And before we know it, time has passed and we haven't moved. And then you feel less like moving than when you did before. So, one of the things I like to encourage people to do is start moving your body in some way and make sure you're not putting into your mind things that are causing you to feel more energetically drained. Maybe turn on some upbeat music instead of some like, music that maybe not be upbeat, and maybe dance around your house or move your body in some way if you can't go outside. That is a wonderful way to uplift and balance your energy. Another thing I would really love to encourage you to do is to celebrate yourself. This time of year is focused on being thankful. And a lot of times we look outward at things to be thankful for. And we're always trying to, I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for the things that I have in my life, the material things, my friends, things like that. But take some time to reflect on yourself. And you may not have thought about being grateful for your own progress and your own ability to move forward and all of the things that you've grown in this last year, but you really probably have a lot more growth in your life than you probably have ever given your self credit for. So take a brief moment, maybe doing this during your meditation, where you think about what you've been through in the last year. What obstacles did you overcome? Maybe see if you can find areas in your life that you feel good about and think about those. And those actually will align your energy to manifest even more good things into your life. Sometimes when we're focusing on the things that we don't like, that attracts more of those into our life energetically. And so when we focus on the good things, when we focus on things that are going well, we attract more of that. And so being able to work with your own energy, your spirit team, adding in meditation, all that will help align your energies to navigate through these harder months that you might have during the year. And then the last thing I wanted to share is pay attention to the people that you spend time with. Are they uplifting you? Are they talking about positive things? Are they excited about things that you're doing in your life? Do they encourage you and think that your goals are positive? Like, or do they get jealous or tell you it's not possible? Do they kind of bring you down or do they complain a lot about their own lives? And maybe take a step back a little bit and kind of evaluate the relationships that you are around a lot. And I know that family is hard to navigate if it's them, but maybe learn to set a little bit more of an energetic boundary around you. Maybe imagine a bubble of light around you so it deflects some of that negative influence that you might be pulling in. And then when you come to the end of your day, what I personally like to do is I imagine releasing all the day's energy from my energetic field, from my aura, from my chakras. And this helps me to release anything that I have pulled in during the day that is not aligned with my true and highest self because I want to manifest good things in my life. I want to feel good. And I know that prior to my connection with spirit and prior to my own healing, I had very low winter months. And so I do hope that this helps somebody if they're able to add these into their lives as they navigate through these next months and the holiday season. And just remember that the more that you ask your spirit team to help you, the more they will. So I want to encourage you if you would like to do a personal reading. I have Black Friday specials going on this Friday, only $35. Get on angieharris.org or find me on Facebook and you can set up a reading with me. And I look forward to seeing you all next week.